It's finally here, the game of the year that everyone has been so desperately waiting for. Marvel Rivals, one of the best games I've played in the beta, is finally available for public play. And I am unbelievably excited and will be spending an unreasonably large amount of time playing this game over the next few days. In fact, my initial plan was just to go into this video and quickly do something so I could hop right on the game as soon as I got done. And then I saw what might very well be one of the funniest articles I've read up to date, as one of the founders and developers over at Overwatch 2 had attacked Marvel Rivals for being a clone of Overwatch 2 in the most ridiculous fashion possible. Now, there are a lot of arguments you can make that Marvel Rivals does kind of look like a clone of Overwatch. There's a lot of similar abilities, a lot of similar characters, and most importantly, a lot of similar mechanics, with most of the game modes being identical between the two games. But it's not like Overwatch was the first one to make those kind of game modes or these abilities. Overwatch took inspiration from other games, just as Marvel Rivals took inspiration from Overwatch. Now, but the weirdest thing is the point of contention that this developer had with Marvel Rivals. It had nothing to do with the gameplay, it had nothing to do with anything. It had to do with the name of Black Widow, saying that Black Widow's name was too similar to that of Widowmaker, saying that her name was unoriginal. I wish I was making this up. So without further ado, let's actually make sure that I'm not mistaken, and this is what he legitimately said. Coming from Fandom Pulse, written by John F. Trent, former Blizzard president deletes post calling Marvel Rivals an Overwatch clone that stole Black Widow from Widowmaker. So the person who said this was former president Mike Ybarra, who deleted a post where he claimed that developer NetEase cloned Overwatch and stole the character of Widowmaker to create Black Widow. In a now deleted post to X, Ybarra wrote, "Looks like Overwatch Marvels ships tomorrow, much like Light of Motiram, a clear copy of HDD out of China." He added, "I mean, every in the character name, Widowmaker in Overwatch versus Black Widow in Marvel Rivals, LOL, NetEase/Tencent, all the same." This post was quickly community noted. It read, "Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, is a popular Marvel hero who made her comic debut in 1964, more than 50 years before Overwatch and Widowmaker were created. The poster is spreading misinformation," and as you can see it right here with that response. And while he did delete the original post, he did reiterate his belief that it's seemingly an Overwatch clone. When asked what he thought about Marvel Rivals, he responded, "If you like Overwatch, you might like it." And holy Jesus, what a disingenuous statement. If you like Overwatch, you're going to adore Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is the better Overwatch. It is the next step in hero shooter evolution. It went Team Fortress 2, Marvel Overwatch, and then Marvel Rivals. And my god, is Marvel Rivals carrying this banner proudly. With all the new changes, first of all, the characters are all phenomenal. The designs are incredibly well done, and none of it is censored to modern sensitivities, instead drawing on how the characters looked from the comics. The characters act and behave like themselves, and their abilities are incredibly inspired based on the comics. The gameplay is incredibly fast and incredibly smooth with short downtime between events, where everything you do feels like it has at least some importance, and TTK isn't too long, instead feeling very natural in how the game plays out. So no, if you like Overwatch, you're not gonna like it, you're gonna love it. He also backpedaled, claiming he worded his original post wrong. He wrote, "Worded poorly, had to delete massive DMs of Blizzard sucks, which should be expected, I guess. It's clear what they're doing," he added. "It's not the first time. Once the NetEase deal went south, everything was for free-for-all and it went into hyperdrive." And yeah, sure buddy. Blame it on the NetEase problem. The problem is, Overwatch left the market to crumble. They completely abandoned their player base, ignored the core fans, and stopped giving players what they wanted, instead going for a safe, free-to-play model that relied on cashing out on players as much as possible. Charging an outrageous amount for skins and limiting the amount of skins you can get without paying, it was a really disingenuous model. Even going so far as to lock playable characters behind paywalls, so you had to actually pay money to be able to get access to the new characters who came out, which is completely ridiculous of a thing to do. And what is even more humiliating for Ybarra and everyone else involved is how well this game is doing. Going over to SteamDB, Marvel Rivals is sitting at an impressive 321,000 concurrent players with a 286 player peak in that time period, and we're not even to the weekend yet. It's only Friday. It's early on a Friday, so we'll be seeing how this game does tomorrow when it's finally the actual weekend. And most impressively about this is when you compare it to Overwatch's numbers, which is sitting at a measly, okay, I'll be a little bit generous, I won't be too disingenuous. This isn't terrible numbers, but they're only sitting at 37,000 hours in the last 24 hours, which while isn't excellent, it's not horrible, especially when you consider the amount of people who are playing on Blizzard's own spyware which you do have to install to play Overwatch and is the primary installer to play Overwatch on. So most of the players are not on Steam, let's just keep this fair. But also, it's doing a lot better than a lot of the more DEI-infested games, because that's the other thing. Marvel Rivals is objectively DEI-free. It is to the point that the characters are pretty. They're sexualized. Not too much, just the right amount, to the point where they don't look like pieces of cardboard. And let me remind you, this game is currently at, as I said, 444,000 players, which is so much above Concord's 697. Good job, Marvel. You are beating the bottom of the barrel at least. And let's also not forget that during the beta period, when Concord only had 200 players on their beta, Marvel Rivals closed beta had a total of 52,000 players at its biggest peak, which was still higher than Overwatch 2. And to be very clear, that peak was at the last day of the beta, not the first day as we usually see. So this game is objectively doing something correct. In fact, according to John F. Trent's calculations, because I'm too lazy to do it myself, this game's all-time peak is already 487.6% more than Overwatch 2, and it's quite possible that all-time peak could increase as the game heads into its first weekend, and I guarantee you it will. And while NetEase was clearly inspired by Overwatch for Marvel Rivals, the game is clearly different. It would be like claiming that World of Warcraft was a copy of EverQuest. World of Warcraft was inspired by EverQuest, but was not a direct copy. Nevertheless, that does not also negate actions NetEase took in the past where they clearly did just steal a copy from World of Warcraft. As an example, one reviewer for Marvel Rivals makes the distinction between the two games clear. Finally, a game that's actually fun. I can finally stop feeling depressed by playing Overwatch. You know how you stop feeling depressed by playing Overwatch? It's called the uninstall button. I did that years ago. Greatest decision in my life. First off, the team is amazing, and the gameplay is fantastic. I just love it. Don't even get me started on the characters. They're incredible, and 10 times better than anything I've seen, and the designs are especially top-notch. The launch was very solid start with stunning visuals. The skins and battle passes are totally worth it, plus it's great to see a team that genuinely listens to the community, and thank God for that. Compared to other PvP shooters, Marvel Rivals stands out with its unique hero abilities and balanced gameplay. So do I recommend this game? Just go for it. I bet you'll love it, and you'll keep playing it. I hope it just keeps getting better and better. Also, with new characters on the way, I can't wait. Great job, NetEase Games. This game is so good, I clear my day for it. And here's the thing, this game also gets the benefit that Concord didn't have by being completely free to play. No external systems you have to install to make sure you can play it, like you do have to on Overwatch, which is a massive turnoff for a lot of players, because Battle.net is a horrendous site that doesn't work. And then Concord did have that $40 entry fee, which was just abysmal. One of the other benefits of Marvel Rivals is every character is available at launch, all 33 of them, with an estimated 14 more on their way in the upcoming months, including characters like Ultron and Mr. Fantastic and Blade, rumored to be coming back into the game. The current slate of characters is just phenomenal as a general rule too, with only a couple of characters I would say even remotely coming close to being kind of boring, and the main one I can think of is Penny Parker. She's kind of an uninspired mess. And there have a lot of other really pro-consumer practices that they're taking part of in as of right now. For instance, with the Battle Pass, yes, you have to pay money to get access to the higher levels of the Battle Pass, but the crazy thing is, once you own the Battle Pass, it's yours forever. Unlike most other shooters, including Overwatch and other hero shooters like Apex or just basically any other game that has a Battle Pass system, the Battle Pass expires when the season does. So a season in a shooter is anywhere from 1 to 3 months as a general rule. Once that period ends, bye-bye Battle Pass, anything you didn't got is gone for good. And by the sounds of it, how the Battle Pass will work is you will be receiving currency from completing missions, and that currency can be spent on any Battle Pass you have acquired, which is also an incredibly cool concept. From what I understand, you can also acquire in-game currency fairly readily to give you the ability to unlock skins, though I have not verified that for myself, as my biggest criticism with Overwatch 2 is that they completely strangled the market on skin getting, and there was nothing you could do to get more skins. Now, that's pretty much all I've got in regards to this video. I'm so heavily looking forward to playing this game. I've got 2 friends in a lobby right now, so I will see you guys on the next one, and hopefully I see you guys out there in battle. And I will see you guys on the next one.